Okay, here is lesson 12-5, fractions greater than 1. Our math objectives are, I can model fractions greater than 1 on a number line. I can understand fractions are numbers that represent parts of a whole. And I can explain my thinking and show my work using academic words, numbers, and pictures. The length of one strip of paper is 1 whole unit. Fold 2 strips of paper in half. Open the strips and place them end to end. So if you can get 2 strips of paper, make sure they're equal sizes, fold them in half, place them end to end, and see what you have. I'm going to pause the video now. Go ahead and do this launch work. Go to Power School and do the solve and share. And then come back and let's go on with the lesson. So go ahead and pause now and do the solve and share. All right, welcome back. Well, here's my 2 pieces of paper. And I'm going to take one and I'm going to fold it in half. We're using our imagination here that I just folded that paper in half. And I have my other piece, and I'm going to fold that paper in half. Okay? And I'm placing them end to end. I'm going to place them right next to each other. Before I do that, I'm going to think about what I have here. This is one whole piece of paper, and I divided that in half. So here I have 1/2, don't I? There I have 1/2. This is also a half over here. That's another half. If Angel and I were sharing a pizza, I'd get half, he'd get half. They would both be called halves. So how many halves do I have here? I have 2. I have 2 halves here. Now remember, we divided this pizza in half also, so there's another half and another half. So Jake also wants a pizza, so he gets half a pizza. And Malachi gets half a pizza. How many halves do I have here? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 halves. 4 halves. You write halves. It's not halves, it's halves. Right here. Okay, let me drag my pieces of paper together and let's just look at it this way to make sure. Okay, I'm putting those end to end. I gotta move my fold line here too. Remember, I folded this piece of paper in half, didn't I? Okay, and there's the line in between. So there's another half. And there's another half. So again, if I'm counting my halves, I'm going there's 1/2, 2/2, 3/2, 4/2. How many holes do I have? How many holes did I have? Whether you think of them as pieces of paper or pizzas, think about how many holes I started with. I had 2, didn't I? I had 1 whole piece of paper that I folded in half. I had another whole piece of paper that I folded in half. So I had 2 holes, and that made 4 halves. Okay, let's see what we have here. Name a fraction that is to the right of the point for 2 on the number line. So it's got to be to the right. It's going this way. Remember, the right's always going this way on the number line, just like your right hand, always to that side. Okay, so I want a fraction that's over here. Well, I have to think about, how did I divide this? Maybe I divided these in half, just like we did that paper. So there's 1/2, 2 halves. There's a 3rd half, 4 halves. So over here on the other side, I'm going to have 5 halves. That's a fraction that is to the right of the 2. And not to the left over here. That gets smaller, but I want to go larger. Okay? What's another way I could say 2? It's 1 whole, isn't it? That'd be 4 halves. Okay. So to the right of the number line. Let's see what we have here. Quinn says that 10/8 comes to the right of 9/8 on a number line. Do you agree? Why or why not? Oh man, I'd love to look at a number line, but you know what? I'm already thinking about these numbers and I'm looking at 10/8. 10 is always going to be larger than 9, isn't it? 9 is smaller than 10. 10 is larger. So 10 is going to be on the right. You can think about it when you count 7, 8, 9, 10. So you're going to the right of a number line. Let's test it out on a number line here and see. There's 7/8, 8/8, 9/8. Notice I am going to the right, aren't I? Always counting this way. We're not subtracting. We're adding. We're going larger. We're going to the right. So Quinn is correct. I agree with Quinn because on a number line, numbers always get larger when you go to the right. The greater numbers are always to the right. Okay, let's see what we have here. Each number line has equal lengths marked right, the missing fractions. Okay, there's some boxes here with some missing fractions. Let's see here. What do I have? I've got 0, and I've got 1, and I've got 2/3 and 3/3. I'm looking at the denominator, and that tells me that this line was divided into 3 equal parts, right? That's what the denominator tells me. 3 equal parts. Here's 3 of them. There's 2 equal parts. So this must be one of those equal parts. And we know the denominator has to be 3 because it has to match all these others, doesn't it? They have to be the same. If we're counting by thirds, 3/3, 2/3, 1/3. There you go. Let's check over here. 0, 1. Yeah, it's the first line. It's got to be 1. There's the second line, so there's our 2. There's our third line. It's got to be 3. And we know that 3/3 is another word for 1. Whoa, wait a minute. What's here? Well, let's see. If we jumped 3, what comes after 3? It's got to be 4. And if they divided these all, sorry, it's gardening day. If they divided these all into thirds, this is going to be thirds also. Okay, what do we have here? Again, I'm looking down here at the denominator first. I see, oh, these lines, these holes, there's one hole, there's another hole. These holes are divided into fourths. Here's one hole. Oops, not what I meant to do. Try the highlighter. Hello. Here's one hole right here. And it's divided into fourths. Here's another hole right here. And it's divided into fourths. So all these fourths are, both these holes are divided into fourths. And I can tell right down here, the 2/4, 3/4. So I can just count. I can go, oh, well, there's going to be 1. I really should get out the typing, and type the numbers in, shouldn't I? And down here is 2/4. Make sure you get that number right underneath that tick mark. Okay, you don't want it. Oops, that's not 2/4. That's 4/4. 4/4 because it's one. One whole is 4/4. That's the whole pizza, right, Jake? 4/4 is one whole. What comes after 4? Well, that's going to be 5/4. 6/4. And I'm checking what's between 6 and 7. 6 and 8. I bet it's 7. Oh, it looks a little confusing. You're talking about fractions, but you know what? When we just think about what we know as far as counting, we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we know they're all fourths because we don't want to change those. We're talking about the same way to divide the wholes. We divide equal groups into fourths. Okay. Remember, you can pause these videos at any time and work it out on your own on your paper, or just look at what I've done there and think about it for a minute. Here's what we need to do today. The exit slip is go back to that solve and share and check and see how you did. Okay. That's why we don't that's why you want just get to the launch, but then we want to work on it as your exit slip. So check your work and finish that up. Go ahead and watch the video for 12-5. They do it a little bit differently than I do. They've got a bunny hopping So watch that video and then do the practice buddy. And that's your work for today. All right. Have fun.